Today we're going to talk about effect negation and how it affects monsters. There's three different kinds of effect negation. There's things like Gaios, Breakthrough Skill, Effect Veiler, and Forbidden Chalice. And then there's effect negation like Skill Drain and Fiendish Chain. The latter two affect monsters differently than the former. Let's say you have a Rescue Rabbit on the field, and I play Fiendish Chain on your Rescue Rabbit. You can still remove your Rescue Rabbit from play, and you can still get your Rescue Rabbit search for the two vanillas. This is because Fiendish Chain and Skill Drain target continuously monsters that are already on the field. Now, things like Breakthrough Skill, Veiler, Biscayos, and Chalice will leave a lingering effect on that monster. What this means is, if you activate your Rabbit's effect, even though it's no longer on the field, it still resolves on field, because that's how effects work in Yu-Gi-Oh! And the game state recognizes that it's being negated, so you don't get your Rabbit's effect. Now, this may seem a little odd, but you can use it to your advantage. Because if a card's already having its effect negated, it can't have another card try to negate its effect. So what this means is, let's say you summon your Rescue Rabbit, and I chain Effect Veiler to the summon of your Rabbit, or I respond to the summon with Effect Veiler. Then, in response, you play a Fiendish Chain, targeting your own Rescue Rabbit. Now, Fiendish Chain is channeling 2, it'll resolve first, and negate your Rabbit's effect. Now, Veiler can no longer negate the effect because it's already being negated, so Veiler resolves with that effect. At this point, you have a Rabbit whose effect is only being negated by Fiendish Chain. Therefore, you can remove it from play and get your 2 vanillas on board. Keep in mind this only works with monsters that leave the board when they activate their effects. If you were to activate, let's say, Psyblocker's effect, and I respond with Veiler, and you respond with Fiendish Chain, that's not gonna work. Psyblocker never leaves the field to stop being affected by Skill Drain. Another scenario that's come up quite often around here is Biscayos versus a monster like Dragossack. Let's say you enter your standby phase, your opponent does nothing, and you are the controller of Dragossack. And, of course, Biscayos has materials. So, let's say you entered standby. There you do nothing. You enter main phase. When you enter your main phase, you have player priority to activate your effects. So you can instantly tribute Dragossack itself and target a Biscayos for destruction. At which point, since Dragossack is no longer face up on the field, Biscayos can't negate it, because it can only negate monsters that are already on the field. So, if you wanted to stop this Dragossack, you really had to use a Biscayos' effect either in standby phase or draw phase. Keep this in mind when you're in the situation. That way you don't lose your Biscayos very, very easily. The same applies if you have a Dragossack and you're afraid of effect failure. Like the other day, my opponent had a Dark Armed on field, no cards in hand. I summoned my Dragossack. I asked him if he had a response to the summon. He said no, which means that I could activate my Dragossack's effect, removing it from the field to tribute Dark-Armed, or to destroy Dark-Armed Dragon. At this point, he tried to activate Effect Veiler, in which case I had to explain that Dragossack was no longer face up on the field. You can imagine how salty he was. Thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. If you have any ideas, leave them in the comments.